Senior citizens deserve respect and care. Senior citizens, happiness forever. To all our elders, happiness always shall continue to be your portion by God's power. A beautiful day to all our senior citizens out there. Welcome to this week's edition of Senior Citizens Forum. Senior Citizens Forum, as we all know, is a weekly TV program specifically designed for the elderlies in Nigeria. The program highlights the joy, the plight, the challenges, and the general welfare of the senior citizens.
Our retirees are the senior citizens.
This week, we shall focus on one of Nigeria's senior citizens who is based in Boston, Harvard, Massachusetts, United States of America. In this exclusive interview, our Chief Program Coordinator at Joseph Adeyi took him up on a number of issues affecting the senior citizens generally, even in the United States of America. It is titled Wellness of the Elderlies.
Our retirees are the senior citizens.
Our guest is a professor of economics, a philanthropist, and an ASUD educationist who has lectured at different universities in Europe and America. Our special guest is Professor Kunle Adamson, a professor of economics. Professor Adamson, for your information, is a pure Lagosian from the Lagos Island, Ebute Metta, and Onike Yaba axis. Our guest is also an in-law to Elder at Joseph Adeyi, our Senior Citizens Forum TV program chief coordinator. Professor Adamson is also an octogenarian who clocked 81 years old late last year. He had written many books on Nigeria and international economics, as well as the way forward for the Nigeria economics woes, amongst others. He speaks on what is highly needed for the people of age 60 years and above to still keep fit even at their ripe old age.
Nigeria do not have many opportunities for retirees. Okay, and the reason is very obvious. This is the way it was set up from the British colonial experience. Okay, because when they retire and they will leave, go back to England. So there's nothing inside Nigeria that was created for retirees. And when our people talk about independence, they're too busy fighting against each other, they're too busy stealing the money, and not really thinking about what programs are needed. I mean, if the young ones, infants, do not have any program that help them, if the toddlers do not have any program, adolescents, teenagers don't have any program in Nigeria that help them, the youth in general don't have any program that help them. Everybody is just on their own. So the retiree also do not have any government program that aid them. Okay, that when they retire, they could confidently say, oh, I will benefit from this program, I will benefit from that program, maybe community service, maybe food sharing, maybe transportation subsidy, maybe, no, the government does not have it. Therefore, what is the solution right now? The solution is self-made. Let the retirees come together to form their own community, their own society, and their own cooperative society. And what does that do? You contribute. If your retiree pension, when you get it, I don't know how much, let's say it's 50,000 naira. Maybe you're going to pay 20,000 naira to the cooperative, each one of you. Imagine they have 500 members, 1,000 members. You will collect what? Millions. Therefore, the program that the government was unable to provide, you by joining together could provide them. Okay? An example, cost of living is very high. They can even begin to think about building houses where only for the elderly at a very cheap rate. Okay? Maybe one room in a bungalow or whatever, and maybe about 5 or 10 elderly can live there. You understand me? The cooperative will start knowing and thinking about what to do to improve the livelihood and the experience of the elderly.
Professor Adamson speaks about prostate and other notable health challenges of the elderlies. He also stressed the need for the people of Lagos State to take advantage of the state government's health insurance scheme.
Now, in terms of paying attention, I would say since I was about 40-year-old, because you go for annual medical checkup. The thing is that there's nothing that the doctor finds, but I will still go for the checkup. No, just to monitor. And the idea is that the earlier you catch a disease, the greater the chance that you could get a cure or a proper treatment. Go and buy the Lagos State Health Insurance, and it contains almost everything that we do that we pay for in America. So I don't know why everybody is not subscribing to it. And the more people that subscribe to it, the greater the chance that that insurance scheme will survive. I have members of my family in Lagos. I registered them in that insurance scheme for each person, and only very few people even take the advantage. Having a checkup at least once a year is recommended. Doing exercise on a regular basis, you don't have to run a mile. Just take some few steps out on your street is good. Okay? Walk with your son, or walk with your friend, or go and visit a neighbor. All right, it's good enough. You have to constantly have somebody to talk to, because loneliness and being kept silent, or the feeling that you've been abandoned, or this system whereby you have all your children in America and you are living in Nigeria and nobody is coming to visit you. You have to make life for yourself. It doesn't have to be your kids. Anybody near to you is your family. That's my policy in life. Okay? I've been outside of Nigeria for more than 2/3 of my lifetime, and therefore I have friends. Everybody. My friend kids are my kids. My friends or my workmates, my neighbors, everybody. You make them to be your extended family. And it works very well. Okay? And I believe that for young kids to move out of the village for the city and leave their parents or their old elderly members of the family behind, or even in Lagos, they move out, they go and get an apartment in Lekki or somewhere, and you are living in Mushin by yourself somewhere. So it's not recommended if it can be avoided. There's nothing better to grow old and living with your own children or your close next of kin.
He advised the senior citizens to gather and jointly buy foodstuff at cheaper rates and distribute among themselves.
There's power in numbers. When you are one, you are not as strong, you are not as effective, and you are not as much in control of what you do. Rather, if you join together, okay, either as a community-based organization or as a society or as a cooperative enterprise, what you're going to have is that now you have the numbers. You could have 500 members, you could be 1,000, you could be 2,000. There's no limit to the number of membership. The more, the merrier. And what happened is they could organize, okay? You have, that society will have their own store where you buy food. They have their own doctors or clinic where you will go. They will have their own transportation system, okay, which we cater to you at a very cheap price. And they have their own health visit being conducted on a regular basis, maybe monthly. There'll be one person coming there to take your blood work, do this, do that, and those kind of things, health visit. You don't have to go to the hospital or this or that if you cannot afford it or if you are too old to do it.
Professor Kunle Adamson also speaks about aging and the needed steps to take for aging gracefully, that the surest ways for an elder to live a blissful old age is to eat right, exercise well, and put the past behind them. He urged the government to take the issues of the elderlies and the infants more seriously, as according to him, they are the real set of people to be properly taken care of first. In view of the high cost of living generally in Nigeria today, Professor Adamson advocated for the creation of a special supply scheme whereby food items and medications for the elderlies are given top priority to cushioning the effect of their sufferings.
Whatever you are making at the time that you retire, they'll be continue to pay to you monthly or a fraction of that. The trouble is this: as inflation is very high and cost of living keep on rising, that money within 6 months of your retirement is no longer sufficient to be able to feed and take care of any elderly person. And that needs attention from the government, okay? Whereby those who have already retired, you create a special scheme for them. Either you create certain stores, food stores, where only elderly can buy from, and they buy at subsidized prices. Okay, in other words, you subsidize the price within that store. You need a government issue card about your age or whatever to be able to shop in that store. That's one thing. The other one also is they could create elderly cooperative system. Cooperative system is like insurance. You put in resources. Like for instance, all elderlies will pay into a particular cooperative society. That cooperative society will be the one that will buy food, will be the one that will supply them with transportation, will be the one. It could be 500 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people, everybody pay into the cooperative. You could eat that with beans or moi or sardine or fried fish or whatever. And then in the afternoon, when things are good, I eat about 2 cups of corn, boiled corn, nothing much, or fried plantain, very green plantain, green one, not the sweet one, green plantain, And so my lunch is quite very light. And then for dinner, you have anything bitter leaf, ewuro, or ephedrine, the scent leaf, and or whatever. Drink them. They makes you to sleep more deeply or nicely. And so I believe in what Jesus said, that not everybody in my Father's house shall enter the kingdom of God. The fact that you go to church, the fact that you pray or whatever, if your conscience is not clear, if you hate your other human being, if you cannot help those who need help, if you are self-centered, as if you are the only one that's created in this world, okay? And all those things. You don't have to be rich to be kind, all right? So my belief is this: if you do all those things that Jesus or religion has tried to preach and teach us, if you abide by them, whether you're a member of a religious sect or not, is irrelevant, because your conscience is clear. But if you go to church and you come back out and you commit the same sin, and you think going back on Sunday is going to cleanse your sin, no, you're deceiving yourself. Okay? I don't think God behaved that way. So, my advice is this: you may reap what you sow. If you hate other people, well, how do you expect that God is going to be kind to you? Therefore, stop all those. Live life the way God will approve of what you are doing. that gives you confidence. Okay? Matter of confidence is very important. Determination and confidence that yes, I'm on the right track in my life, and therefore I believe that I'm going to live long, and you will. But the minute you are not on the right track, and you know that you're not on the right track, of course, the fear of not being on the right track, the fear that it's not acceptable in the eyes of your peers, in the eyes of your member of society, and maybe may not even be right in the eyes of God. That fear also can consume somebody and prevent you from living your life properly.
He also called for the regular medical checkup for elders, as well as educating them through regular health talks to enable the elderlies know more about their health status and how to go about it. Professor Adamson also advocated for the establishment of cooperative society for the senior citizens in Nigeria. This, he said, is to enable the older persons in the country to work as a team to get what they needed without much stress.
There are people who are depressed because they think they're not being loved by somebody. There are people who are depressed because they think that God doesn't like them. No. Check what you are doing. If you think what you are doing is appropriate, if people are congratulating you and commending you that you are doing the right thing, that reinforces your level of happiness. And therefore, depression is not going to happen. Right? And those are the things that cut your life short. Okay? Being depressed is not an easy thing. Okay? Not able to associate, not having any kind of social life. Okay? Don't have somebody you could get up on Sunday or Monday to go and visit. And now you are not working anymore. And all you do is sit at home, don't even go out, don't do anything. That's the best way by which you go and cut your life short. So the advantage is that whatever you can do, any small business, anything at all, there's nothing wrong in it. Okay? It may not be because you need the money or whatever, but for the sake of your own health, yes, you could still do it. Whether you want to create a small farmland in your backyard, it doesn't have to be big. It can be the size of your living room or something in your backyard. You could grow tomatoes, you could grow pepper, you could grow this. The elderly form a union. Come to not union of UAC retiree, not union of union by age. All elderlies, no matter who you work for, okay, come together, form a society, and create a cooperative. Register the cooperative, start contributing money monthly, and the cooperative will collectively be taking care of the elderlies. That's the way it is. I think there will be more benefit coming from there, and the benefit will be instant. It's not that, you all contribute this month, you start in January, by February, the benefit is already rolling in.
Professor Adamson again reiterated the need for the government at all levels to take adequate and proper care of the senior citizens in Nigeria.
Things are so expensive that you need 3 to 4 times the minimum wages at the present moment for the poorest person to be able to survive. Okay? What happened is that as a result of that, government have to step in. If the government or the people and cares about the people, the elderly will be the first age group that they have to take care of. The elderly and the infant. I do not believe that creating a ministry for the elderly is a good idea, and I'll tell you why. Every ministry, once they are formed, they degenerate. Why? Because the government will vote money for them, but that money doesn't go to what they're supposed to spend on, right? So creating an additional ministry does not mean that you're going to have an improvement, or that all it will create is just that the elderly will have a place to write letters that they will not reply to. And This is what I would recommend. Okay? Number one, do the same thing that they do in the US. Don't wait until somebody stops working before the government start to subsidize or the employer start to subsidize their income. You know, the 401k, savings, any portion of your salary that you put into savings up to 15% of your salary, they will double it. Your employer or the government will put double of it in that savings account for you. Let's say, for instance, I'm making 80,000 naira per month, and I want to put 10,000 naira into a savings account for my retirement. The employer or the government will add 20,000 to it. They will double it. So it will be 30,000 naira per month that will be going into that account. So that's what the government can do. Don't wait till they are 2 years before they're going to pass away before you say you want to help them, because it's too late and too small. Start a savings system.
Our retirees are the senior citizens. Retirement is a good thing. Retirement is a better thing. Our retirees are the senior citizens. Our retirees are the senior citizens. Retirement good, retirement sweet, now the step to living a good old age. Retirement good, retirement sweet, now the step to living a good. Retirement is a good thing. Retirement is a better thing. Our retirees are the senior citizens. Our retirees are the senior citizens. Retirement good, retirement sweet, now the step to living a good old age. Retirement good, retirement sweet, now the step to living a good old age. Retirement is a good thing. Retirement is a better thing.
Senior Citizens Forum, a special weekly program on Lagos television that addresses the joy and the various challenges of the elderly.
When human beings grow older, definitely the changes are from scalp to the tip of your toe.
Hypertension affects virtually all the organs of the body. It affects the heart, it affects the eyes, it affects the kidneys, it affects the brain, every organ. More often than not, people don't know they have hypertension. The only way you can know whether you have hypertension or not is to measure your blood pressure.
For its sponsorship and advert placement, please contact the LTV Marketing Department or send SMS or call 0802 328 5359 or 0801 3888 1703.
The government should take statistics, data of the elderlies, then come up with a policy that will help them.
Senior Citizens Forum is shown on LTV. Insurance companies, pension fund managers, healthcare providers, pharmaceutical companies, as well as telecommunications network providers are free to sponsor the program or advertise their products at moderate rates.
Yes, another edition of Senior Citizens Forum on your dialing station.
A Senior Citizens Forum.
That's about all for today. Please join us next week for another interesting package on Senior Citizens Forum.
These people have worked so hard. They are the senior citizens.